Welcome back to my channel. I see my story has generated some interest, so let's continue with it. I truly appreciate the views and likes, and oh, don't forget to subscribe and tell a friend. Back in my dorm room, I sat down at my desk for a long time. What did Mr. Montanescu mean by the things he'd said to me? I will never forget that night. I've even had dreams about it. The struggle against the current, the feel of his body weight as I swam, and even that bite. Serge never said a word to me, and I'm quite sure he didn't give me anything. Serge's father was a diplomat. He looked rich and certainly lived richly. Did Serge take something from home that night? If so, whatever it was somewhere deep on the ocean floor or on the yacht he fell from. 2 weeks after the incident was when my world changed. I woke up as usual and got ready for the last of my classes, and I had a splitting headache. The sun streaming through my blinds was too bright and hurt my eyes. I searched my room until I found my sunglasses and slipped them on. I felt slightly better and left the dorm. It was an unusually sunny day, and it seemed that the sun was beaming down directly on me. My skin felt like it was on fire, and when I looked down at my arms, they were blistering. That was when I ran. I ran so fast, I crashed into the door of the building. Someone behind me snickered and I turned to glare at them, but no one was there. I felt better as soon as I was inside. My arms stopped smarting and the blisters were fading. Odd. It was still too bright, but I could not wear sunglasses in class, so I took them off and tried to concentrate on the lesson. I don't know how I got through the day, but I did. My classes were in various parts of the campus, and it was agony getting to them. Once done, I hurried back to my dorm room. Luckily for me, I didn't have a roommate. Otherwise, it would have been difficult explaining my burnt skin. Once inside, my skin stopped burning and began to heal. I couldn't really freak out because it had been happening all morning. I had gotten used to the phenomena. What was happening to me? Did I suddenly develop an allergy to sunlight? If so, why does the reaction correct itself once I'm indoors? I believe my son gave you a gift before he died. That's what Mr. Montanescu said. Was that what he was talking about? If so, I didn't think it was a gift at all. It was more of a curse, if you ask me. I recalled him coughing up blood into my mouth when I was performing CPR. Was that when I caught whatever I got? I quickly turned on my laptop to do some research. There wasn't a good description of an allergic reaction to sunlight that fit what I was going through. What I was experiencing was along the lines of crazy and shit. Serge Montanescu was either a vampire or had a rare disease not yet documented. I couldn't fathom this being a gift. That's what he meant, so he knew what his son was. Serge bit me while I was trying to help him, and if I remember correctly from the movies, if I drank his blood, then I would become infected with the vampire trait. How ungrateful. What was I supposed to do now? I couldn't go on like this. The envelope the butler shoved into my hand that day came to mind. I'd put it away and forgot about it. Now where was it? I searched through my backpack and it wasn't in it. My desk drawer came up empty as well. Where did I put it? Then I remembered what I was wearing that day. I went to my closet and found the jacket I'd worn. I found the envelope in the pocket. I remember thinking that it was a check and just shoved it into my pocket. I had felt too insulted that I had forgotten about it. I sat back down at my desk to examine the envelope. It had a weird-looking seal on the back of it. I couldn't recall if I had felt any vibes from it back then, but I did now. It throbbed in my hand. I broke the seal open, and just as I thought, there was a signed blank check and a letter in it. Victoria, it is unfortunate that you became the recipient of my son's gift. I sensed it the minute I saw you. I assure you that it was not intentional. You see, once a vampire feels death coming, it is a natural response to pass on his gift. Death is not commonplace for vampires, so he might have been frantic. The tragedy is that he did die, so you are on your own. As his heir, it should have been his responsibility to care for you. I am sorry. I have enclosed a blank check. Please feel free to cash any amount you need to begin your new life. I can only provide advice if you need it. You may contact me, and I will try to answer any questions you may have. What new life? I still have 2 more semesters before I graduate. And would I need to drink blood to survive? I didn't know anything about being a vampire, and according to Serge's father, he couldn't help me. And what did he mean by I was on my own? Shit. But he did say that he could offer advice. I turned the letter in my hand and found his contact info on the back. I picked up my cell phone to make the call. Ms. Michaels, I was expecting your call. What can I do for you? He asked as soon as he answered the phone. Some really weird stuff has been happening to me and I need answers, I told him. I didn't feel the need to exchange pleasantries, so I got right down to it. I will send a car for you, and I will try to answer your questions. Then he hung up. I changed my clothes. I put on a long-sleeved shirt and a pair of jeans. I went outside to wait for the car. I ran back inside to get an umbrella. The sun was killing me. It wasn't full summer yet. What was I going to do then? I ran when the car showed up, and I recognized the driver. It was the detective. He was covered up like I was, and he was wearing sunglasses too. I looked him up and down. If you're wondering if I am a vampire, you would be correct, he said as he started driving. Oh, so you're living in the Twilight Zone too? I asked him. No, I've been a vampire for over 50 years. Are there more vampires around like you? I asked. What do you mean by like me? Oh, you know, working and walking around like normal people. We have a community, he answered. I was going to ask more questions, but we had arrived. This was not the house I'd been to. This was an office building. I asked if he was going to wait for me, and he nodded. The receptionist was waiting for me and led me to Mr. Montenescu's office. I was grateful for the coolness. Although I covered up as best as I could, I still felt my skin burning. I hadn't blistered, but it still stung. Good afternoon, Victoria. Have a seat, he said. I sat down in the chair in front of his desk and stared at him. Now, how can I help you? He asked. He was sitting at his desk with his elbows resting on it. His office was like any ordinary office, except there wasn't any natural light in the room. I took a calming breath and let it out slowly. I'm having trouble with the sun. Exposure to it burns me and then heals. I want to know what else to expect. I couldn't bring myself to ask about blood. As vampires, we do have a love-hate relationship with sunlight. We can tolerate it for a short time. Prolonged exposure can prove fatal. Sunblock helps, but avoiding it works best. Everything that you have read or seen in the movies are false. We do not turn into bats. We can compel, but only the older vampires have that ability, and some vampires can hear thoughts. Your reflexes are faster, and you will find that your senses are enhanced. We do not glow or fly, and as for nutrition, blood is very necessary. Please don't say that I'll have to go out attacking people because I'd rather die than do that, I insisted. I am sure that the detective can escort you to our food sources. We do not attack people for blood, and if so, only in extreme cases. I am not craving blood. Does that mean that I haven't fully converted yet? I asked. The first sign of conversion is the aversion to sunlight. You should have already experienced your senses becoming more enhanced. The thirst is the last thing you will experience, and I suggest that you have a supply of blood before that happens. Untrained and unable to control your urges will become a problem. That is why it is unfortunate my son is not around to care for you. Why do I need him if you're here? You're his father, I pointed out. Ms. Michaels, you must understand that there are rules to everything in life, even this life. Your sire is the only one who can train you. I am being kind by giving you advice, but understand that it is out of courtesy and not obligation. His voice had turned cold then. Anything else? I asked, equally coldly. You will need to find better living arrangements. Before you fully convert, there will be a dying phase. For some, it is a few days, while others stay in that phase longer. Find yourself somewhere where you can die in peace. Once you have awakened, your thirst will make itself known. The monetary offer still stands then? I asked as my mind raced. I at least owe you that much. My son wasn't my biological child. He was my heir. A thought occurred to me. Can we have children? It has been known to happen, but it is rare. It is why we have heirs. Now, if there is nothing else, I have an important appointment, Mr. Montenescu said as he stood up. I stood up as well. Thank you for your time. I walked out of the office and the receptionist showed me out. I had so much to think about, I thought.